White people. Question. What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Hey people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video, it is an interesting video that has struck the conversation of white people. So this black sister came online to ask the question and say, you know what, white people, especially white people in America, what does it feel like to be a white person in America, especially with the racism that goes on in America towards black people, and how one person do something bad in the black community and is generally painted it on the black community. And she wanted to know white people, especially in America, and she said other people can station it, that white people, they should give their thought on what it feels like to be white in America and the privilege that comes with being white. I find this conversation very interesting because I have gotten this, like a lot of white people usually be very oblivious to being white and say, oh, we're just people, why can't you all be like, all life matters, all people matters, and don't understand. So I'm really intrigued to know what they think about this and all that. And yeah, so I'm really interested to really know what they have to say about this, their own thought on this. So with that all said, guys, let's go check out the sister asked this question, and let me know what you think about the question the sister asked. What you think about it? Do you think it's crazy and all that? I want to know, because I don't think some people will find this question all that. So let's go check it out, and then we'll come back and talk more on the black community.
So, white people. Question. What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America. I mean, if you're not in America and you're white, you can answer this question, but especially if you're white and American, how does that feel? I know, being a black person, especially a black woman, one of the biggest issues is that we're always exhausted carrying our entire race on our backs. We always feel like a monolith, even though we're not a monolith, and that one of us can mess up and it would make the entire race look bad. And I'm sure it's the same way for Mexicans and, you know, indigenous people, but I never hear white people talk about stuff like that. So let me know. Stitch, duet, whatever. But how does it feel?
Do you think this is a valid question? Because this video got a lot of people talking. A lot of white people were responding to this, and I personally am interested to hear their own thought, because this is the blind reaction, because I didn't really go through the stitches because I want to react to this blindly. But yeah, let me know your own take on this. Do you think this is a valid question for this sister to ask white people? And what are your thoughts on this? If you are a white person, please go on, feel free, share your thought about this question, and if you have an answer to it, please go ahead and share your thought. But I kind of relate with what the sister said, that when one person do something, kind of rob the entire people. I understand that 150%, and I feel like, anyway, let's just go hear other people's thought on this, and then I'll come back and share my own thought. But also, I want to know what you think down in the comment section. Go ahead and share your thought. But before we get into this video and hear people's thought on this, if you have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and smash the subscribe button down there and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload a video, because we post daily content every day, 2 videos, and you don't want to miss out on the type of conversation we're having here.
White people. Question. What does it feel like to be white?
Privilege, right? So like, I wasn't asked to be born. I just was born in this body. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even ask to be here. Sometimes I don't want to be here. But like one day, my mom and dad decided to play a little pickle tickle, and 9 months later I'm here and I'm born in this kind of body, right? And so being born in this kind of body in the United States of America is like winning a really good scratcher ticket. Now it's good, okay? It should be appreciated, but it's not like winning like the lottery or like the Mega Millions lottery or Super Lotto. It's not that. But it's like a pretty solid scratcher ticket, right? But I'm aware of the fact that I'm like, even though I have much more privilege than the vast majority of people on the planet, like I'm way down the line of the privilege ladder, okay? So like there's like the privilege level that I'm at, and then above me is like wealthy people in general. Wealthy people that aren't worried, that don't have to ever think about, like, do I feed my kids? Do I put gas in the truck? Or do I pay my cell phone bill? Because those are the three choices with a little bit of money that I have this month, you right? Like, those people don't have those concerns at all. And then above wealthy people are wealthy people that are decision makers. Okay, they're the people that really decide what we're gonna, no matter what we think, right? That how society's gonna work, and trust me, it's to their benefit. And then above them are wealthy, white decision maker men. They're almost at the top of the privilege tier, right? Those are people that just, truly have you money, like they just got you money. And then above them are all the people with everybody money. Everybody. That's your billionaire class. That's your oligarchs. And then above them, in the S tier, the highest tier of privilege, is the white men with the you money. Everybody money. That's the highest tier, right? And so even though I got all this privilege, I know I ain't shit. And that causes some people to act really badly. Because you ain't shit. So, anyways, I hope that made some sense. Anyways, that's a good question. Thanks.
So, white people. Question.
Yes?
What does it feel like to be white?
I want you to sit there and think about if I started a video off like this. So, black people. I think it would make you feel really uncomfortable. And so if placating and attacking a certain race and just like making someone's race is special, you would be uncomfortable if the roles were reversed. Why do it? Well, let's keep hearing what you have to say, because I'm sure it's a good thing.
Especially if you're white in America. I mean, if you're not in America and you're white, you can answer this question, but especially if you're white and American, how does that feel?
Why does it matter? Why does your race in America matter? Why are you trying to drive further wedges in between the quote non-existent racial divide in the United States by trying to make it seem that like by being white or being not a minority, you somehow have it better? It's just perpetrating the lie that this country is inherently racist. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
I know, being a black person, especially a black woman, one of the biggest issues is that we're always exhausted.
Last time I checked, being exhausted was not a minority-specific trait.
We always feel like a monolith, even though we're not a monolith, and that one of us can mess up and it would make the entire race look bad. And I'm sure it's the same way for Mexicans and, indigenous people, but I never hear white people talk about stuff like that. So
why are you doing this thing where you're trying to divide people by race? As if your race somehow makes you special. Let me say it again. Your race doesn't make you special. Being black, being Jewish, being Asian, being Hispanic, they might be parts of who you are. It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you unique. You're not unique for being black. I am not unique for being white and Jewish. Doesn't matter. But let's just cut that out first. Why don't you start the video with like people or Americans, women, since you're targeting, you said you were a black woman. That's great. Why didn't you just target women? Why did you have to put the racial filter on it? Why does it matter? Because newsflash, nobody cares that you're black. Just as much as nobody cares that I'm Jewish, and nobody cares that I'm white, and nobody cares that my next door neighbor is Hispanic. It literally doesn't matter. Literally just divisive. Could just say people. Could just say women. Could just say Americans, because guess what? We all have that in common. And I hate to break it to you, your little shtick about your monolith, if that's how you guys feel, it's a valid thing. People that are white, I hate to break it to you, are all from different ethnic backgrounds. I am Jewish. I am also Iranian. I am also Russian. I'm assuming you probably wouldn't know that because I'm white. It doesn't matter. So maybe, instead of making a divisive video that sounds very much like it's meant to be divisive, we all just get along. Because I don't really care, personally, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Asian, if you're Hispanic, if you're, I don't know, a chicken. Because I don't know about you, but I personally don't care. if you're black or you're Asian or you're white, Jewish, Hispanic. I don't really give a crap. It doesn't really matter to me. Why not we all just come together and not make videos like you did that are meant to be divisive? Why can't we all just get along and have a kumbaya moment? Not everything is about race. Literally nobody cares. Okay? Great.
Before I move on to it, because he was saying race doesn't matter. Why do you make? Please, you guys, let me know down in the comment if you're a white person. I know that. Is it true? Like there are some white people that really believe that race doesn't matter, and there are some white people that really don't believe that there's an hierarchy in terms of race and even skin color and how you look. Like, is this for real? Because some of the things he was saying, oh, I'm like, some white people really don't know that they have a privilege because they are white. I'm going to list out some of the things that white people are privileged to get because they are white in Africa. I'm getting to that because, I don't know, no shade to him, but it's just like, okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Some black lady made a post that says, white people, how does it feel to be white? Okay, well, this is how it feels to be white. Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. If I put up that I'm proud to be white, people would comment that I'm the most racist person in the world. All right, imagine being blamed for something that you were never a part of. Okay, so also, on top of that, imagine that you can't get a job now because of the color of your skin. Like literally they tell you that we're not hiring any white people right now. We need more people of ethnicity here. Huh. Imagine being straight and white and Christian. You're like the triple threat of hatred. Imagine being told that you have an ideology that you don't have. Like, just because you're white, you're racist. So that's what it's like to be white.
So, white people.
Okay.
Question.
To that.
What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. That's how it feels to be white. If I was to make a post on Facebook and I said I'm proud to be white, I'd be the most racist person there was. That's how it feels to be white. Imagine being blamed for things you were not even a part of. That's how it feels to be white. We have all these occasions throughout the year. We have Black History Month. We have Juneteenth. We have Pride Month. If we was to celebrate being white, that'd be a no-go. That's how it feels to be white. You have your cable channels. You have BET, Black Entertainment. If we created a channel that was called WET, White Entertainment, that'd be a no-go. That's how it feels to be white. If we speak up on racism, we're hated by some of our own kind and other races. That's how it feels to be white. Have the day you deserve. Imagine being a race that you're not allowed to be proud of. That's how it feels to be white.
All I'm saying, bro, ate when he said that, man. And he said all kind of other shit. He ain't lying. Sorry.
So, white people. Question. What does it feel like to be white?
So this person's asking how it feels like to be white, and she's asking this specifically to white Americans, but she leaves it open to other nationalities. And I want to talk about this because I feel like I have a privileged position as somebody who's racially ambiguous. For context, I'm part Brazilian, part Japanese. My Brazilian side is mixed race, and most of my adult life I've lived in Europe, Northern Europe, to be more specific, Scandinavia and the UK. And people's opinions of me and the way they treat me will completely depend on what nationality and what ethnicity they think I am. I'll never have known this if I was just presenting as a person of color. If people never thought I was white, I'll never have found this out. It's very rare that people have prejudices against Japanese people, but if they think or find out that I am Brazilian, especially if I'm mixed race Brazilian, oh my goodness, they will treat me like shit. And at the same time, if people don't know my nationality, if they don't know my ethnicity, if they like me, if they like what I say, if they respect me in any way, they're so much more likely to assume I'm some type of European, usually German or Swiss. I get those nationalities a lot, which is bizarre. But I've even gotten Scandinavian, for example. And the moment they find out that I'm not, the moment they find out my real ethnicities, my real nationalities, that respect, admiration, whatever, is gone immediately. And the same goes the other way around. If people really don't like me, if they really don't like what I say, they will immediately assume I am from an ethnic minority, usually Arabic or Jewish, something of the kind. And the difference is not subtle. It's very, very clear. If people that really like me, that thought I was some type of European, find out my real nationality, you can see their mind exploding in that moment. Like, how could I have respected somebody who's mixed race and from Brazil? Ooh. Because you have to remember, in Europe, you have to add a layer of xenophobia as well, because here racism is very different than what it is like in the US. In the US, I perceive it to be very like black and white sort of situation, and anything else comes secondary. In Europe, there are many, many layers of it, especially tied to country. So when I moved to Europe when I was 18, I used to tell people that I'm just Brazilian, especially if I was too lazy to explain things. Because if I told them that I'm Japanese, I would have to usually explain that because I don't look obviously Japanese. So Brazilian, anyone can look Brazilian. So I would just say Brazilian and leave it at that. But then very quickly, I realized that the moment people found out I was Brazilian, they treated me like shit. Like, doors would close on my face. Because, you know, if people thought I was Swiss or German, which is the usual, and I would tell them, oh, no, I'm from Brazil, immediately, like, their facial expression would change, their behavior would change. So I learned that very, very quickly. So what I used to do, especially in my early 20s, is that I'll let people think that I'm white. Like, I wouldn't correct them. I wouldn't go any lengths to make that happen. But if they did, I wouldn't correct them. I would just let them think that. And oh my goodness, that was like, all those years that I did that was such an eye-opening experience, because the things people will be comfortable saying in my presence were wild. And I'll never have heard those conversations. I will never have known that about those people had I not been racially ambiguous, had they not thought I was white. So if you're a person of color and you wear your nationality or ethnicity on your face, do not ever underestimate racism, xenophobia, because the conversations I have heard were wild, and the people that those things came from are so surprising. You have no idea.
What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
It feels like I'm going to get up every day and go work for everything that I have. It feels like I'm not going to blame you if your family member goes into my family's house and them or does some terrible things to them and then does something bad to themselves to where they can't be brought to justice or anything. I'm not going to seek out them to go get you so that you can pay for what your family member did or whoever was related to you in any sort of way. That's on them. They did that. They did the crime. It has no connection to you. Why would I blame you? Personally, I'm not going to live with white guilt. You respect me, I respect you. We are both human beings living in this world together. And the moment we learn that and unite together is when no one will hold any power over anyone, not the government, no one. We will all be functioning human beings that love each other as God wanted us to.
What does it feel like to be white? Especially if you're white in America.
Honey, I'm white. I work full-time at the hospital. My husband he's white. He works full-time as a local truck driver. We both work. We don't get food stamps. We don't get any kind of government assistance. I work. I have 2 kids. My mom has to stay with us during the week to help.
You coming inside?
It's not easy. Nothing's easy. Race, it don't matter. I work. You work. I love you. I hope you love us. Let's all just get through this life together, okay?
Question. What does it feel like to be white? Especially...
You know, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Girl, all I know to tell you is that my back hurts and I've never woken up a different way. So there you go. I don't know what you're looking for, but I don't know how to feel any different. I don't feel privileged, that's for damn sure. Get up and go to work every single day, bust my paycheck that gets taxed to death. Got to pay in all the Social Security taxes, the state taxes, retirement taxes, you know, got to pay out the ass on co-pays on my insurance to try to get decent medical care. I think if you want me to throw my 2 cents into it, I think everybody's equally over. So that's how I woke up feeling this morning.
White people.
Hi, white person here. Now imagine if white people started their videos with black people. That's ugly.
Question.
What's your question?
What does it feel like to be white?
What does it feel like to be white?
Especially if you're white in America.
White in America, that changes the whole thing because white in America is not always that great. This is coming from an immigrant. Before moving to the United States, color of the skin was never the topic of any conversation. Nobody cared. But then I moved to the United States and suddenly my skin color became important. Why?
I know being a black person, especially a black woman, one of the biggest issues that we're always exhausted.
White people are tired as well. One of the things that we're tired of is seeing videos like yours where the video starts with white people. Why do we need to make a difference between white, black, purple, green, whatever? Why don't you start a video with people or women or I don't know, narrow it down. Stop saying white people, because guess what? We would start our videos like that, we would be called racist. How does it feel being white and living in the United States? I can tell you this, it feels amazing, because who does not want to hear the word white privilege all the time? And when we get that promotion because we sacrifice our time, we sacrifice our health, we sacrifice time with our family over the person with a different skin color, guess what? White privilege. We feel like we're always walking in eggshells because we cannot say anything anymore, because if we say something that crosses the line for you guys, we're called racist. Someone I've been friends with for years has been to my house, has met my family, knows my children, knows my husband, said black women who achieve certain success should be celebrated. And I said, I agree, but all women should be celebrated who achieve certain success. Holy crap, the backlash that I got for that, and I was called a racist. Please make that make sense. We literally do not know what we can and cannot say anymore. Here's another example. My children didn't get into the school that they wanted and we wanted for them because they're white. This is what happened. The school was trying to fill a diversity quota, and my children, who by the way, born in one country, have passports of 2 other countries, speak 3 languages fluently, did not meet the diversity quota. And guess what? The skin color, they're white. Perfectly diverse children. Didn't get it.
I never hear white people talk about stuff like that.
I can sit here for hours and give you a whole laundry list of what it feels like being white living in America. But what's the point? Can we just all be friends? I just like good people. And I personally do not care what are you, black, purple, or white.
I want to know your own takedown in the comment section. Please keep it respectful as always, guys. Please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts, but please be respectful about it. I have so much to say about this, even though I'm not an American, I'm not a black woman in America. I have so much to say. And the question I asked in between the video where I said, is it really true that a lot of white people really don't identify, or they don't really realize the privilege it comes for being white? I am not saying everybody is not struggling. I'm not saying everybody is not going through it. The economy is hard on everybody. I feel like the first white man that kind of said it kind of just broke it down. There's an hierarchy to these things. Whether I want to accept it, whether I want to be in denial and it and say, oh, you know what, we're just human beings. We're just gonna look at the things they're worried about. They're worried that, oh, they have to work. They are working like every other person. They pay huge tax and all that. Why a black person is worried? I'm talking about black people in America. I know I'm not black American, but the things I've seen on media, the black Americans, they are worried about being shot, being pulled over by the police, being randomly pimped by their next door neighbor just because they knock on their door. Those are the things black people are worried about. So when white people are talking about, oh, we're all people, when we know in society, even as a black woman in Africa, we see how our race plays out. Even as a content creator, we see how our race plays out on general. You see a white content creator has mixed both the black, the white watcher, but you see a black content creator, you can count the handful of white people that watch her because naturally, and sometimes I feel like this is it. Sometimes I feel like it's not done intentionally by these white people because really they genuinely feel like, oh, they are good people. Now I'm not saying all white people, yeah, okay, they genuinely feel, oh, we're good people, I like everybody, but low key deep down you believe that people from Africa are poor. You believe people from Nigeria are poor. There's a video I saw. I think I'm going to do a video on that, but I'm just being very careful. There was a video I saw of a white man who went to Africa to he's into gold making, gold jewelry and all that, and he went to Sierra Leone. They were harvesting diamond. They were talking about how diamond in Sierra Leone was very important, how a chemical produced diamond is going to kill the jobs of the Sierra Leoneans that were digging out diamond for this white man that holds a diamond farm. And the white man was saying that, oh, God is very amazing when he creates the poor, so that I'll look for that clip somewhere. I think I'll do a video on that. Whether we want to accept it, even in the black community, there's colorism. Whether we want to accept it, even in the white community, there is hierarchy to the privilege you get. Like the first white man that staged it, talk about the hierarchy. There's an hierarchy to this, but whether we want to admit it, white people are on top of it. Yes, the top white man that has money and don't give a F, they are the high. But it all trickles down. After white people, group of white people, then there are people of color, and that's why even people of color still feel like they're better than black people. And when it comes to black people, there's also the hierarchy. Black men feel like they're better than black women. And when it even comes to black people, we still feel like mixed people mixed with black people, not even people of color, people that mix, like mixed race black people, they're higher than black people. So it's something. So I was one of those people that usually say I don't see color, I treat people equally and all that. But in reality, people see color and color exists, and people are being treated just by the color of their skin. And I agree, people, you don't have control the color of skin you come into this life with, but there's privilege attached to the color of skin you came to this life with. People will treat you different because of your color of skin. People will assume, we've seen video how black girls are assumed in Paris that they were prostitutes because they were black girls going to fancy restaurants. I keep saying this. Myself and my friend, we went on a trip earlier this year to West African countries, and we saw a lot of white people there in these West African countries we're going to, and they were looking at us very weirdly because they were used to seeing black people serve them, not black people being in that space. And we were in hotels where it was all white people. And I remember we were in one hotel, and this white woman was staring at us with this, what are they doing here type of look. So I don't want, like, if you're a white person, and I know I have some white people, I have like my sister here, AC, amazing woman that support this channel a lot. She's a white woman. I know, so I know definitely for sure I have other white women on this channel. I know that rather than you saying you don't see color, try to understand color and try to understand the hierarchy. Maybe you understand some of the things you people say like is your struggle, like that is not our struggle. The things black people worry about are not the things you white people worry about. And it should be seen, that feeling, that hierarchy, it should be acknowledged and be respected. It is what it is. And even when it comes to the hierarchy and all that, and I keep saying this on this, and this is why I talk to black women directly on the channel a lot, even though I know I have other mixed people and all that on this channel. Whether we like it or not, on the hierarchy, black women are at the bottom, especially when you're a dark-skinned black woman. So that's why when I see black women come at each other, especially dark-skinned black women come at each other, it breaks my heart, because whether you like it or not, these other factors when it comes to race and skin color, they will put other people before us, and other people are already coming against us. Why do we have to do that to ourselves? People will say, oh, the question this sister asks is not valid. It is valid. She wants to understand what it is, because she cannot fathom, she will never understand what it is to be a white person in America, the same way white women cannot fathom what it is like to be a white, black, powerful man in America. it's a different ball game. So rather than us try to like kick it out like, oh no, we're all people, la 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 la, we all go through struggles. Definitely the struggle you go through as a black person is a different type of struggle. No, no. And also, I just want to put this out before I go. Do you realize that a lot of, because when people used to talk about, oh, even in terms of your nationality, like the mixed sister from Brazil was saying, even when it comes to nationality, a lot of people don't understand the privilege that comes with it. There's a lot of nationality, and most of those nationality is being tied to white people. Do you know white people in Europe? Not just white people. Do you know, I won't even say white people because there are other black people that have. Do you know if you own a Europe passport, any Europe passport, most Europe passport, not any, most Europe passport, you can come to most African countries without a visa. But as an African country that has, especially the African country that has majority black people, I'm talking the East African, the West African, the South African. You need a visa to go to those Europe countries. And do you know that there are a lot of African immigrants in Europe countries that are fighting tooth and nail to be nationalized, even though they spent all their life there in Europe? The typical example is the popular TikToker, Cadin Lane, the guy that does it. He has been, I think Spain, he has been in Spain all his life. He was raised there. And he was never a citizen until he became popular on TikTok, until he built a huge platform to speak up for things like that before the government gave him his nationality, his citizenship, because they know the power that comes for things like that. So I don't want people to always like, no, let's not be oblivious to these things that's happening. There's a hierarchy in terms of race, in terms of nationality, in terms of power. There's an hierarchy to it, and we should not be oblivious to it. So I feel like once we can identify and agree and all collectively agree that there is a privilege attached to these things, then we can now start actively working on it so that we can come together and unify, and so that these things does not matter anymore. But if we keep avoiding it and keep ignoring it, it's always going to be there. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful as always. You're on the channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be supporting this channel and this girl here. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.